It's the life of a hustler. When you gotta take the long road, lose it all, make it right back. When you down, I won't show love. This is the life of.
Oh yeah.
Life of a hustler.
Check me out.
Life of a hustler.
See me on the road, I'm in hustle mode. Real estate mogul, commercial real estate and Poconos. Backseat recline, making money when the
Welcome back to WakuRadio. This is your host, Kobe. And in the motherfucking house, we got the co-host, Semen.
What up, what up? And we have a very interesting guest today. Some say his bars are so smooth, women just slip into his DMs. Want to welcome you too, David.
Yeah, man,
What's
I like
up,
that.
big doggy?
Man, happy to be here.
That's what's up, man.
I'm at WAKU, man. This is the real deal.
Hell yeah. Thank you for coming,
The
bro.
real deal, man.
Introduce yourself and a little bit of what you do and how the people can get a hold of you.
Man, we were just warming up, huh? We started going right in.
Yeah.
Like, yo, let's get to it, huh? Yeah, no, I go by, J Supreme, for my passion in music, so anything, the real J Supreme, in the business side, everybody knows me as David, right?
Yeah.
David Newman. So you guys can find me, all my personal, profiles under that name too. So
Hell yeah, dude. You guys got to check his shit out on fucking Spotify, where WakuRadio is also.
the real J Supreme.
That's right. The real J Supreme. That shit is fire, guys. You got to listen to it. Like, we were there during the whole fucking recording of what was it, album 1, 2?
Album 1, man.
Yeah, it was album 1.
Legendary.
When I say
Legendary.
bars are so smooth, I mean smooth.
Bro, if you want to listen
Like
to
Hennessy.
Yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
listen to the young new Jay-Z, you gotta go check his shit out. Like, dude,
It's an honor.
seriously, like every time I listen to it, bro, it just gives me that Jay-Z vibe.
Hova.
Yeah.
That's a big honor, man. That's an honor. I'm telling you, it's a big honor just to be here. So the other day we were doing something fun in the studio, and we're recording a song. The dude's like, "Yo, you kind of got like a little bit of a J.Cole vibe," and I was like, "Damn, that's a big compliment." Those are big. Like when people tell you shit like that, you're like you don't know how to take it. Sometimes you're like, "Yo, is he saying that I'm like copying the dude?" Or like, is he saying like I'm like pretty dope like he is? Like,
No, you're fucking dope,
And
bro.
I was
Yeah.
like, and he was like, nah, it's dope. Like real shit. Like it's like I'm listening to J.Cole, and I was like, oh man, that's a high honor, high blessing, man, for somebody just to put that on me. It's like, yo,
You know what it is though? I think it's a relatable thing. I think a lot of times, like, we listen to our fucking idols, right? Like J.Cole or fucking Jay-Z and shit.
Yeah.
And then we kind of forget, because we're so used to like social media now, how like new content is coming out all the time.
Yep.
We forget how long it takes to create art, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's like, yo, when the fuck is J. Cole? When is J Supreme gonna drop some new shit? But it's like we don't understand. We've forgotten the concept of how long it takes. So like, I think
True.
For in that fact, it kind of takes it back to like, we try to find relatable artists, and for him, you probably sound like fucking J. Cole. So he's like, dude, I love J. Cole. I want to listen to you because you got the same style, you got the same lyrical,
cadence.
Yeah, you got the same.
cadence,
Yeah, same thing. So you can relate to it, right?
Yeah.
For me, like, when was the last time you heard Jay-Z drop a fucking like album? Like, he hasn't dropped one in a long time.
Man, like, and it's crazy because you can go back and listen to a Jay-Z album today, and that shit still feels like it was just released yesterday.
Yeah.
Or this morning.
But
You
like,
know? You're like, yo, it's still fucking crazy.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things where you're like, you wish he was still putting out shit all the time, right?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you wish I want more from you while we still got you here.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny because he retires and he's like, nah, fuck that, I'm coming back. He's like retired once or twice, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, I'm coming back to it. I'm gonna lay some new shit, and then he drops something out of nowhere, and you're like, yo, this is crazy. Like the last one he did with his wife, right?
With Beyonce.
That's crazy. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Just drop some dope ass shit, just going in on bars and shit.
Yeah, that's why I think
That's like, hey, I don't even need anybody. I could just do this shit with my lady. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's fire, bro. Like, some real shit. Like, their relationship is fucking. It's unbeatable, bro. Like, think about it, where he is right now in life, and then to have the same woman. I'm sure he's sleeping with other women. You know, he's so high level as a valued man that he probably has multiple women.
Or
And
he's past it already. Like, yo, I don't even, like, I've already did
I
it.
don't know, man. As a man, we like a little bit of flavor, you know what I mean? But still, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you're probably right, because he's still with her at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
She's the queen, and she's got everything that fucking no other chick got. The only thing those other girls got is probably his dick for 30 minutes or less.
Yeah, and she's like, but do you got these kids though?
Yeah, or do you got the Bentley? Do you got the Rolls?
Sure,
do you got the house, everything.
Everything. Yeah. Do you got half?
I think when you get to like that status, you might portray yourself a certain way to like the media and society and stuff like that, but deep down, you've been doing some shady shit or whatever.
It's not even shady, I think.
It's just not shady, but like to the public view, it'll be shady, right?
Yeah.
Because I hear some dirt on some people, like some famous celebrities, because we're in the club scene, we hear shit from other people and all that stuff. I don't want to mention any names, but like I was talking to one.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but every time we take a drink, we should say WAKU.
I'm down.
Just fucking crazy. Just WAKU. WAKU. WAKU.
Yeah, we're gonna be drunk as
Just random, you know what I mean? Somebody's talking WAKU.
bro.
Oh shit, somebody's taking a drink.
Down, dude, that'd be funny. Just WAKU.
I'm fucking lit right now, bro.
But even last week, I heard we were going to the club, me and a friend, and they were telling us who someone was at one of the clubs, like a big time celebrity type thing, and they were telling like, oh yeah, there are a bunch of this stuff, and we're like, dude, what? He's like, no way. And they're like, yeah, dude, secret fucking entranceway, secret. No one sees him. Lights are down. No one even knows he's there.
Oh shit.
But he's there with bunch of bitches.
Who's
Really?
that? Just some random dude, like some random person?
Hey, just say, we'll just bleep it out.
All right.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Of course, man.
Yeah, but like in the public eye, everyone, he's like a family man. He's religious, all this stuff. Nah, dude.
He's out there on demon time.
Yeah, demon time. It was what, 2-3 o'clock in the morning we went, and they're like, oh yeah, this so and so is there, man, but keep him down low, blah blah blah, but he has a bunch of bitches with him and all that shit.
All those motherfucking semen demons.
Yeah,
bro.
all them semen demons, them cock gobblers.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
crazy.
But
you should make a song called Semen Demon.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right? Or the Throat Goat.
The throat go. I've heard that one before.
Yeah, dog.
That's
cum
crazy.
dumpster.
I've heard that one too. That's a good old one. Right?
You might get canceled for that one.
Yeah, I try to upload it. They're gonna be like, sorry.
Throat
It doesn't
Goat.
meet.
All
It doesn't meet minimum requirements.
Make it eco-friendly. Cum recycler.
Did you guys ever have any girls like that where you're like, yo, you just refer to them like that, like where you're just, that's throat goat.
Yeah. We're gonna play a couple videos later about
shit.
a couple of girls like that.
You're just like, yo, hit up throat goat. She'll come through with all the hoes. All the bitches will come through with throat goat. She bring all the girls with her.
That's true. Yeah, she's usually the plug with other
that's
bitches and shit. But you know what's crazy though is that nowadays it seems like women are like okay with being promiscuous and like they're okay being like labeled as a slut. And how do you feel about that, bro? Because remember, growing up, it was different. Like, girls kept that shit to
You
themselves.
should just play that one video real quick. So I was watching porn a few days ago, right? And when you just start scrolling, you're just looking for random shit. I found one porn. This chick was sticking her pinky down the penis hole.
Oh no.
And she was literally going like
Oh man.
that. It was one of like those previews.
Who the fuck has that type of piss hole? Like
I don't know, man.
Like who has that like ability where it's like pinky size and
Dude,
shit?
that's disgusting.
Crazy,
or have you
bro.
seen a long time ago? There was a video called Two Girls and
One Cup?
Not Two Girls, One Cup, but
How you know about that?
Shit, man, I grew up, man. What are you talking about?
that's one of the first viral videos, bro.
Shit, man, I was in that era. I think I was like in high school or
It was
something.
like something sandbox, but basically she was taking a dildo and she was shoving
Two girls
it
in a
down.
sandbox?
Yeah, she was shoving it down the guy's penis hole.
Oh,
like
shit.
like stabbing that fool.
Oh man, that's terrible.
True.
So what did you do? So what did you do? Did you like beat off to that or something? Like
No.
You're like, oh dude.
It was one of those like my fisting story. It was one of those. Wow, I'm just so amazed. I'm not even turned on. I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's fucking weird, bro. Like what they do is they use a dilator. So like I've done research.
Wait, hold on, wait. You can't just walk past that like that. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
First of all, for everybody that doesn't know what's a dilator,
So it's like
hold on, you can't just say.
So it's
first
like-
of all, they use a dilator. Everybody knows. All right.
Yeah, dilator. It's a common thing,
common. You
You
can
guys
get it
don't
off
use it?
Amazon.
What?
You can order it off Amazon. Hold on.
Yeah, you can actually.
1 day shipping, Amazon Prime.
I don't know what the fuck is used for, but I seen that shit and I was like, what the fuck is this, right? So I started doing my weird ass research because I always go into weird rabbit holes. That's why I'm so fucking like knowledgeable about certain researches.
For sure, yeah.
So like they'll use like a dilator. So what it is it's something that basically just opens you up. Like, you know how like when women are giving birth, they start to dilate with their cervix and it gets bigger and shit.
Yeah, I kind of tied that together.
Yeah. So with men, our shit just stays that size. So what happens is we have to, they use these. I don't know what the fuck they're used for. It's a medical device, right? I don't know what it's for. But they put it down the fucking hole and it'll start small and then they'll start getting bigger and bigger and bigger and it'll make it, because what it is it's just like a ligament, right? The penis is a ligament. So it'll just start to dilate that hole and get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Do girls do that when they do anal? Do you guys know that?
Yeah, butt plugs, for sure. Yeah, they use butt plugs.
Dilate their butt.
Yeah, anything dilate just means to slowly open up, right?
Yeah, so they have like different sizes of butt plugs. And
I think that's what it means.
You just work your way up to the point where you can stick your fist or dick in it, you know? Depends what you're into type shit. It's almost like how gauges work, you know? Because you have to go like a small size and just like slowly stretch it out.
That's crazy.
So it's probably the same thing. I actually saw a video where they stuck sorry. Yeah, they stuck a tuning fork into the penis hole and then they hit it.
Whoa.
The dude looked like he was getting his rocks fucking knocked off, but
yeah, no, that type of shit's crazy to me, man. That type of shit is crazy for me.
Hey.
So people be just living reckless and they're like, yo, I want to try that.
Yeah.
Do you think they regret it though? Like, I've had people that did the gauge thing on their ears back when I grew up, you know what I mean? Like with all my buddies. And then like when they get to a certain age, they're like, yo, I can't get my fucking ear back. That motherfucker just stretched.
Well, have you watched the episode 5? It don't go back.
It don't go back.
It don't go back.
It don't go back.
Everything has consequences.
Yeah, no, for real. I think you guys did talk about that, huh?
Yeah, on some real shit. Yeah, it was on with K. Sean. He was on.
Yeah.
This is what I've realized. Everything about us humans is that we have muscles, right?
Yeah.
And those muscles are elastic. So, you know, like if you're doing, like, you can picture a ballerina, right? If a ballerina is constantly stretching out so she can do splits and get her legs over her everything, she can still remain tight, but the elasticity, like a rubber band, it doesn't go back. It don't go back, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
you're like, once you're elastic, bro. It's all the way stretched. Like,
yeah, bro. That's it. You can squeeze that muscle.
Cut that out because that didn't make sense. Once you're elastic, man. Shit.
Oh, it makes sense. The human body is so adaptable to your environment and everything. Like, as long as you train it up to that point, it'll like, because we're meant to survive. We are meant to adapt. We're built to do whatever to make sure we can prolong our life and spread our seed, basically.
Yeah.
So like it's the elasticity and stuff and all that stuff. I feel like your body's just like, all right, well, I guess this is my life now, so I gotta accommodate.
I gotta make it work. This is what I gotta live with. And then it's funny that we were talking about that too, because the other day I was driving out. We went out to California and we were at Alien Jerky. Mm-hmm. You guys ever stopped?
Yeah.
So and it's kind of funny because I ain't even like, I'm not like a big Alien Jerky fan. Like, that better local jerky here. Like, if you want to like get beef jerky, right? But I walk in there and this dude had some crazy stretched out ears, bro. Like the shit, like, and it didn't have like the actual gauge in there.
Yeah.
It was just fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
it was just the earlobe.
Yeah, it's just the earlobe. And I'm like, yo, like, do you ever like wish that you fucking never did that? You know what I mean? Like, this shit was just hanging. I was like behind him in line and I'm like, yo, that's the most extreme shit that I've ever seen, and he's not wearing them. So I'm like, the dude must be like, yeah, I wish I never ever did this. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, they could get surgery and stuff like that to like fix it, repair it, but
the doctor's like just cuts it off.
Yeah.
You just gotta slice it right here.
You just cut in the middle, cut up the extra pieces, and you just tie it back together like a nice perfect knot, and
that's crazy.
There's your ear hole back, but that's just extra money, guys.
WAKU!
Yeah, all right, WAKU, bro.
WAKU, then you're trying to get us lit, huh?
I'm fucking lit already, bro.
You guys have hung out with me many times, man, in the studio.
I know, but it's usually you rapping and shit, and we're just chilling.
Thanks for the shirt, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for the shirt.
On some real shit.
That's because I really appreciate you guys.
If you guys have seen me rocking the fucking legendary shirt, it's because of fucking Jay Supreme up in this motherfucker. All right, this is his company. Go support them. Do you have a website where you?
It's actually everybody's company. You know why? Because I give them to you guys because you guys are true entrepreneurs. how I look at it, because everybody that does get these shirts, it's because one, they're probably buying it because they're entrepreneurial, because it's getting rich over a while. You know, they're playing the long, you know what I mean? They're playing the long game.
Not that get rich quick.
You know what I mean?
Crack boy shit.
Yeah, I mean, they're really focused. Like, yo, this is I'm getting up every day. I got my regiment. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm coming before I do a podcast. I'm making sure I got all my shit organized and I'm ready for it. They don't just show up. It's like, well, I got to figure it out. You know, it's everybody that really puts in the work, like, yo, I'm going to get rich over a while. And then when I look back, it all kind of makes sense. So really it's really everybody's brand, man. When I look at it, that is entrepreneurial, or, you know what I mean? Or just a hustler at heart. They just want to go out and go get it. No. And that's what it really is, man.
Yeah, that's some real shit. I know, like, you've always been one of those guys that have always been on the grind, just super like focused, super motivated about it. No, you know what your goal is, right? Yeah. And you have that vision of your future. How for a lot of people, they don't have that shit going, especially with COVID. It put a lot of people on, like, you know, the low and shit. Yeah. You know, I mean, a lot of people are getting out of that depression, or they want to kind of go and explore their own lives. What can you say to help them fucking get back on track? What should they be doing to just stay focused on their goals, man? Because a lot of people lose hope and they fall off the bus, the wagon, you know, whatever it is. Right. No, I mean, I would just say that your why has to be greater than your want. You know what I mean? Everybody wants everything, but the reason why we do it should supersede that. You know what I mean? Because then you'll get up every day and you'll be like, I don't even got to tell myself what to do. Like, I already know what needs to be done. You know what I mean? Yeah. Type shit. And that's real, man, because, you know, people wake up and they're like, you know, I'm just going to do nothing today. You know, like routine, it's my day, right? It's my day off. I ain't going to do nothing. It's like what you're saying is like create a habit, create a routine. Well, I'm like, yeah, in a way, but I'm also saying, like, you know, you got to understand what you're doing it for, though. Yeah. You know, and it doesn't matter really what you're doing, but it's kind of more like where you're headed. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're just doing something small, you know, where you're just like, yo, it ain't really my future, but I know where I want to be. You know what I mean? That's my why. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? My why is greater than my want. I want a bunch of shit. You know, I want to be successful, but the reason why I'm going through this whole path is much greater. Yeah, it's like, why do I want to buy a house, right? Like, instead of buying a shitload of things on Amazon, my why is going to be like, no, I can't buy this shit. I'm going to fucking save for the future. Yeah. Or like, whatever, I need to start a business, right? So I feel because you tell people like that's called like sacrifice. Right. Like, you're like, yo, I got to sacrifice for now, but I got to do it because I'm going to get here. Well, that's your why, right? You're like, yo, why am I doing it? It's because that I know that once I don't spend this money here, I'm going to be able to allocate it there. Yeah, you know what I mean? My goals. Yeah. And that's kind of what people have to come to grounds with. You know, they got to come to a conclusion like, oh shit, I got to stop chasing, you know, they call it keeping up with the Browns, right? Like the next door neighbor type shit. Trying to keep up with the Browns. Well, you don't really got to do that, man. You know, you got to be bigger than the Browns, right? That's you got to go out and just like, yo, full on, you know, full court press on the whole thing. It's just like, yo, I'm just going to go out and just go crazy right now. You know what I mean? I'm going to stack my money and then I'm going to take it to the next level. So, I mean, that's one thing I would say is just your why's got to be a lot greater than your want. And then, you know, just like, man, everybody was talking about mental health, you know, previously. Yeah. Like during COVID, I feel like a lot of people, you know, went into like some depression or they went through like some crazy, you know. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people were like locked up or they lost their job. Yeah. Like locked in their house. You know, like you're like, shit, man. And if you lived in an apartment, like a 1-bedroom, like shit, I could just imagine. You're like, yo, I'm in jail here. You know what I mean? Pretty much. Pretty much was like a prison, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I think like, you know, just being able to just tell yourself like, yo, I don't ever want to go through something like that again. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to, everything that I thought of while I was in that situation could help you find your why. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, even if people can't figure it out, it's like, yo, you know, everything that you were thinking, oh man, I wish I had a backyard. Yo, I wish I had a pool. Yeah. Yo, shit, man, I wanted a dog or whatever. You know what I mean? I can't even have a dog in here. You know, I can't even take him on a walk and go get some food. I mean, all that shit, you know, just leverage that, man, and then be positive about it. You know, everything that you go through, just find some positivity in it.
You know, I feel like a lot of people, when you're talking about cage and prison and all that stuff, I feel like a lot of people do this to themselves. You know, like this cage, this prison that we put ourselves into, it's all in our head. Because, you know, yes, there was, when this whole, you know, pandemic thing was going on, there was people that were, like you're saying, locked up in the house, you know, And I even had my parents tell me, oh, why are you going out? Blah, blah. I was like, well, fuck it. I'm not going to be locked up in a house. If I'm going to die, I'm going to fucking die. I might as well die out there while I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If this is as bad as everyone says it is, we're pretty much fucking fucked.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like this prison, like people are saying, oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Or this is not meant for me. It's you yourself giving yourself this limits.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the experiment. They said they put a fly in a jar.
Yeah.
They covered a jar up. And the fly, you leave it there for like a few days, a fly, and then you remove the jar. The fly still thinks the lid's on it, but it's open. You can fly right out.
Crazy.
But you've just been so programmed and like put all these things and restraints on you. Like, I can't do this because, oh, I got this coming up. No, it's because you're putting yourself through this all, you know?
To answer your question, I think he said it too. Your mindset.
Yeah.
Your mindset is like key. You know what I mean?
100%.
And that's why it comes down to thinking like your why is greater than your want. Your whole mindset is positive. You know, for everybody that might be, you know, in that they're going through it, you know, really going through it, but they understand that they could do, you know, if they find something they could really do right, you know, and then put their all into that, and they start seeing some incremental like accomplishments, you know, I mean, that's a lot of solidification for a lot of people. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, it's solidified. I think I could keep doing this. A lot of people during the pandemic that thought like how Seabass was saying is like, yo, they created their own businesses. They're like, yo, fuck that. I'm gonna go paint garage. I mean, what's that shit when they do the garage and shit?
Epoxy garage.
Epoxy.
Yeah.
I had so many friends that went out and did that. They're just like, yo, you know what? Fuck it. I was in whatever industry. I'm just gonna go do that.
Yeah, I know so many people that fucking quit what they were doing or they got fired. They were like, fuck, I'm gonna go start a business.
Yeah.
Because they finally realized that, like, bro, like, it was supposed to be an essential business.
Yep.
And how the fuck is this supposed to be like, you know, like essential for me? Because if it can't go through this crisis right now, it's not something that's
It's not something that's gonna ever be, you know, real solid going forward.
And you know, the other dumb thing about the whole essential business type thing I was thinking about too was, you know how they categorize certain businesses or whatever essential, but what if that's your business? That's essential to your livelihood. So why the fuck could you not have it open? You know,
True that.
You know, like what makes this business essential compared to my business? Like Walmart. Why was Walmart still open, but my little mom and pop shop to be closed?
But
this
you know what it is,
essential to
though?
my livelihood.
It's one of those things where it's like whoever has the power, like government, they just want to flex their fucking muscles, bro. They just want to be like, look, I control you. You my bitch. Yeah. Like, we can't do anything about it unless you move, you know? But then how many other shitty governments are there in this world? Let's be honest. Like Canada right now, like they're trying to get out of Canada right now. Have you seen the fucking videos and shit?
Yeah.
People are lined out the door at the motherfucking, like, trying to get their passport.
Yeah.
And then there's videos of like people inside the airport and there's literally lines for miles, bro, like trying to fly out and shit.
Well, that's why I strongly believe we need less fucking government. Yeah. Like, why the fuck does government have to run every part of our lives? No, you're here to establish essential, you know, make sure the country's running good. But as far as like, if I can start my business, open my business, or if I can do this, why does it fucking matter to you? You know, like, who are you to say I can't do this? You know, you're just some fucking politic over there that don't even know what my life needs to be for and about, you know, type shit. Yeah. And to add on to like our previous conversation, what I want to add on with the positivity too, like what people don't realize is that our words are very fucking powerful. Like what we say to ourselves and what we say to others are so powerful. It's almost like a spell. You know, if you keep saying to yourself, oh, I'm a piece of shit, I'm worthless, I'm not good, blah, blah. Well, guess what? Eventually your life is going to become that. But if you're like, so, I'm successful, I'm happy, I'm driven, I'm this, I'm great, I'm phenomenal, blah, blah, then you're going to most likely start leading towards that way because your belief becomes your reality.
They used to tell us in school, like, yo, if you can believe it, you can achieve
Hell
it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Still believe that shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and a lot of us, we would just say it and not really understand what it meant. You know what I mean? We did have some good teachers, you know, where like they'll tell us in the morning you're doing your what do they call those, your affirmations?
Yeah, affirmations.
You know what I mean? I had one teacher at like one point, you know, in my life, and I remember he used to do our affirmations after we did the Pledge Allegiance shit, and I was like, man, I appreciate this guy, man. Like later on in life, I was like, yo, I appreciate him doing that. You know what I mean? He used to have us do some real shit. Yeah. You know, talking real highly about ourselves and thinking really highly about ourselves. And then you don't really know what it is until you get older. You're like, oh shit, man, this guy was saying some shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, me thinking, having me think, and maybe it was helping him too. Maybe he was like, yo, it's my time to actually think positive too and see I'm going in the right direction. And we're doing it with them, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, it's funny because it really does stick, man.
Man, you know what I noticed is like, growing up in an Asian household, my parents were always gone, right? They was always working at a business and shit because, you know, Asian people, right? So they're always worried about like getting the house like in order at business and shit. They're trying to get the money because, you know, they come over here with nothing, bro. And then they take this huge risk to come across the fucking world to start a business or buy a business, do whatever to try to make money. So like a lot of times, like there's really not any relationship at home because of that. Like I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, right? Because I mean, your dad was the same thing. Like
when I grew up, I pretty much grew up with my grandparents when I was like young because my dad was working. You know, he had multiple businesses and he was also working a regular job at the same time. And my mom was working. You know, so I would see them like either late at night or a few times a week. Yeah, and most of the time was with my grandparents. You know,
right?
So,
yes,
but like you know. People that come from another country I give them so much respect because you literally come here not knowing anything, you know. You come here thinking like I mean, literally, but they literally just come here with belief. Yeah. Coming back to like what we're saying, you know, they come here with such belief that like they can make it here, that they end up making it here because that they believe in it so much, you know. Yeah.
Well, going back to what I was saying was like because like you said, like growing up, going to school and stuff. Like my elementary school was like same way. It's like believe, achieve, or some shit, right? Right. And I was like. I didn't realize what those words meant until I got older, and I was like, "Damn, dude, this shit has been ingrained in me since like young, early childhood." Yeah. But because I didn't have that at home to like reaffirm that shit, I didn't understand it until like later on in my life, bro. And so I started reading, and I was like, "Oh shit, Napoleon Hill said what?" Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like all these cats, like Tony Robbins said what? Oh, okay, cool. So like then I started understanding it. Yeah. Because like sometimes I'll pass by it and I'll be like. Achieve, believe, and you can conceive type shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, this has been going on for like 20 plus years, bro. Like, who would have knew?
Yeah, and you know what's fucked up about it is like us as kids, our teachers don't even tell us like, yo, what does your parents do? Where's your parents from? You don't think that they believe? You know what I mean? When they took the risk to come here, and that's why they're achieving, you know, what they believe. You know, because they came here and they went ahead and did that shit. That's you know what I mean? Shit. But they you know, they kind of limit, you know, on how they can approach those situations. You know what I mean? Yeah. So sometimes they don't give the education platform enough light. You know what I mean? True. Because they're like, yo, education doesn't teach you everything. They do have some things in there. Yeah. You know, they don't teach you everything about business or taxes or you know, running a company or how to run a big Fortune 500 business or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they don't teach you all that. But even if they could, you know what I mean? They probably would be limited to what the information they can share with you. And that's why they don't dig deep on kids. Like they don't make you stand up. Hey, Kobe, you know, where's your parents from? Yeah. Oh, they're from Vietnam. Yeah. Oh, when did they come here? 2000, you know, whatever. You know,
fucking 1993, cuz
or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you an example. You know, it could have been 1986. Right. Hey, when your parents came here, did they have any belief that they're gonna make it? I mean, they must have because they came here. Yeah. What did they do when they got here? Went right to work.
Yeah, but you got to be.
They believe they can achieve it.
That's true. But you know, it's different.
Now
for
you
them.
got to believe that you can achieve it too.
Honestly,
you know,
it's just
you know
the way
they can't do it like that though. They're like, yo, you picking on me because I'm Asian. You know, because there's so many little things like, or you're picking on me because I'm Hispanic, or you're picking on me because I'm black. Like they'll, oh, why'd you call me to stand up and answer? You know what I mean? So they kind of limited on. You know what I mean? They kind of limited on what they can do, but that's why they have those little phrases and those little things that sound funny and goofy as shit.
Yeah. No, but I think it's all the same, like meaning wise. What it is just the way it's written out. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in Vietnamese culture, Chinese culture, Jewish culture, it's all different, right? It's just, it's just passed down. Like, doesn't matter what religion. But I noticed that, like the Jewish people in the Quran, right? Like they actually have scripture of like why you should become successful, so you can help your family, your friends, and your society. So that's why a lot of Jewish people are really like focused on that shit. It's fucking crazy. And then in the Chinese like belief for Buddhism, it's the same exact thing. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, look, you know, you're supposed to take care of your family, so you got to create this enlightenment experience. You got to create wealth for yourself and health and all of these things. That's why Asian people, when you see them, you're like, damn, motherfucker's always driving around in a nice whip or whatever, right? Because it's got to be like that. It's one of those things where you have to prosper, bro. Prosperity is huge.
Yeah, that's very true. And if you look at a lot of those cultures, sometimes they're way more successful than us that have been born here in the U.S. You know, because we're privy to having a comfortable life already. You know what I mean? And everybody comes here and they're like, I know what I've come from, and I have all the opportunity here to make something better. And we don't realize how good we have and how big we could really. You know,
for sure, dude. Yeah,
so but that's why a lot of Jewish people are really successful. Yeah, you know what I mean. They have a lot of money. You always say, "Oh, Jewish man, they got a lot of money." Yeah, you know why they got a lot of money? Because they got bar mitzvahs. They got all these things. The whole meaning of life that they have to, you know, fund.
What about the Hispanics though?
Same thing. They got quinceañeras.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially if they got a big family, they got all the kids. You know what I mean? They got, if they have daughters, they got all those things. You know what I mean? If they got sons, they're like, yo, I got to put food to kids.
That's why they work
eat a lot.
hella hard, bro. They fucking dude. Hispanic
2-3
people,
jobs sometimes.
dude. Hispanic people be working hella hard, bro. I know guys that like
Absolutely.
will come off and like they'll do like landscaping
Yeah.
or some type of contracting business.
Right after they get off of work.
Yeah, and then they'll go and do something else right after they done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, man.
Yeah. Because a lot of times us here, I feel like we lose the meaning of life.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, yo, our meaning of life is what? Chasing retail, whatever it is, us that were born here or whatever, we start
Right.
doing all these, oh man, we want to be, we want to do this,
spoiled.
we want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they're like, yo, shit, I got to put food on the table. But not only that, I got to put kids through school.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't come here for no reason. I got to put my kids through a good college if I can. You know what I mean? If I can get them through a good college, I want to do that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, could you really be angry at the immigrants who like literally sacrificed everything that they had
Hell no.
and dropped everything, moved across like
Oh.
thousands and thousands of miles away across the
Hell
world and
no,
shit,
man.
and then they come in here and they become more successful?
Nah.
And the big difference too,
Everybody
like,
needs an opportunity, man.
and the big difference too, like with a lot of the things, like even like how your shirt says, getting rich over time. A lot of these people, like, there's a big difference.
while, homie.
Yeah, there's a big difference
Same
between
thing.
people who want to get rich quick, and then there's people who want to create generational wealth.
Yeah.
The people who want to create generational wealth are the ones that are like fucking up there, know.
Yeah.
But the ones who just want to get rich, they're like, yeah, you might have a couple 100,000, even a mil, but you nothing really in reality still.
That
compared
dope
to
boy
one,
shit,
yeah, and compared to someone who's like, yo, I'm creating
The
generational
1%.
wealth. I want some richness where my family, my kids get richer, and then as my kids get rich, they're gonna build on top of that, so they create even more wealth.
Yeah.
And now you just got this rolling fucking stone that keeps rolling, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you get fucking, you can.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where you gotta teach your kids, bro. Because if you don't teach your kids, they're just gonna blow through your wealth, bro.
Oh yeah.
We've seen that shit. We all seen that shit. Trust fund babies and
Yeah, like they say, right? Like you spoil your kid, they'll spoil your legacy.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to really teach them to really, be grounded and really.
I actually never heard of that before. That's actually a new one for me.
Yeah, you spoil your kids, they'll spoil your legacy, man.
Well, the
You know
one
what I
that,
mean? Like, and there's many ways to say that, but that's one way of getting it across. Like, yo, you spoil your kids too much, they're gonna spoil your legacy because, they think that everything's just gonna be handed to them and be easy. And I teach my kids that all the time. It's like, look, man, we might go on a nice vacation, you might live in a nice house, you might have everything that you want, but don't think that I don't expect a lot from you.
hell yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
expect this, that, and the third, or whatever it is. And I heard Shaq say it one time too. He was like, I forgot how he said it, and I don't want to paraphrase, but he was saying like, in order to get to my money, I need 3 degrees.
Oh yeah.
You
I've
know what
seen
I
that
mean?
video. Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that connected with me because that's the same shit that I tell my kids.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you want this, that, whatever it is. I need you to do these things.
Yeah.
And you want to go do this. My son, I want to go travel.
Didn't he
Okay,
say
but I
it
need
was
to do-
his money and not their money? Something like that.
I mean, I'm sure
He was like, "Nah, I'm rich. You're not.
You're not.
Yeah.
And that's the shit. Like that's the realest shit because and a lot of people, there's a lot of men that have that same like business, mindset. Like, yo, you're tripping thinking that everything was given to me. I had to work hard for it.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that you're not? You know what I mean? What makes you think that you're just gonna get it?
Well, that's why you
what I
see a
mean?
lot of these successful cats like they don't want to give any money to their children. They're like, no, fuck that. I'm not giving none of my wealth to these cats.
I'll donate it or whatever.
Yeah,
like
like
Bill Gates recently, right? He's like, yo,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but-
donate. I'm gonna start donating all my.
Yeah. But they probably got like a milli somewhere stashed just for
course.
emergency. They'd be like, all right, if you fuck up, like if you really,
If you really
need
bomb it.
yeah. Then
But they probably don't tell their kids that. They're like, yo, I got you. But
I think you need like a good amount
struggle.
of balance into it. Like I like how my dad did. Like looking back now, thinking about it, like he like I wasn't spoiled, but he makes sure I was like happy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he makes sure I worked for things I needed and wanted to get. Like for example, if I wanted a new toy, he's like, well, go save up some money. They bought me toys, but if there's like
how
something
do I save up money? Oh, you got to do this, that. You know
yeah,
what I
exactly.
mean?
Like little things here. If I get money from like family, during holidays, like you better save that if you want to buy something from that from one time, whatever.
Bro, we used to work together at a Baskin Robbins that his dad owned. Dog.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
So I mean, we used to fucking grind, bro.
You're like, yo, can I get paid early? He's like, fuck no.
Yeah. I'll be like, I'll come to him and I'll be like, hey, look, we're gonna go to California, in 2 weeks. Can I take some extra time and like grind? Because like he knew, like, because our dads were the same, both business owners, right. Never seen them, but they were always like, I'm not gonna give this shit to you. You gotta fucking earn this shit, bro.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things like I seen his ass grind while I'm fucking grinding, and it kept us accountable because it'd be like, hey, you going to work today? Yeah, I'm gonna be there. All right, for sure. And it was so like we just grind for like 2 weeks, bro. And then the fucking paycheck came out to be like $800, and you blow that shit in Cali in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Dude, for real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're debating on buying shit. You're like, yo, if I spend that,
Right.
oh,
But
man, I'm
when
gonna
you're
be
young,
suffering for 2 weeks.
yeah, but when you're young, you're like, fuck it. You know, I work my ass off for this fucking money for $8 an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or like one thing my dad did too was like, oh, you want to drive a car? All right, well, go get a job and go pay for an insurance. Because, he had multiple cars. Like, you can drive this car, but you're only driving if you get to pay for an insurance.
And gas.
Yeah, gas, insurance, and full coverage on top of that.
Oil change.
Yeah, and
you
all the
gotta
maintenance stuff, you're going to do it yourself. But if you want it, I'll give you the car, but if you want to keep it and use it, you got to go make some money, you know? So it's like, that's what I'm saying about that balance, you know? He kind of like, they helped you out.
Yeah.
And I feel like it also gave you a taste of the higher end life, so you want it more.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's like a teaser.
Yeah, it's like edging yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want this nice car? Well, go do this. Yeah. And then you get accommodated to like these nice things, and then you want more nice things, and they're like, well, I'm not giving you money. And they're like, fuck, I gotta go grind, or I gotta go find something else, or I gotta start a business or something, because we come from a business background. So they're like, well, how did he make money? He started a business. All right, what business am I gonna start now?
Yeah,
Yeah, but it also makes it difficult because a lot of times, like, our parents have this expectation, and we're just like, fuck, am I ever gonna be able to fulfill that shit? How are they gonna look at it? You know what I mean? And it's like one of those things where, like, when you first start a business, it's difficult. You got a million fucking problems, right? And of course, they had the same thing. They just never tell you about it because they don't come home and start bitching and shit. They just want to love you, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck. And you're just going through all these things. You're going through all these things in your head. You're just like, man, he'll never understand. Am I gonna be good enough? Like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then it's just one of those things where, like, if you're starting a business, your family's in it, you just ask them. Like, that's it. Because they've been through that shit too. Yeah. And you don't realize that, or you're just being too fucking prideful. You're like, nah, I'm not gonna ask them and shit.
Yeah.
But
the one thing I realized getting older was there is nothing wrong with helping your parents with their business or anything like that, you know?
It's an experience.
Like when you're younger, it might be like kind of like, oh fuck, I don't want to work there or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wish I kind of took a little bit more advantage of it.
You gotta say it. You gotta say it with WAKU.
WAKU. Cheers.
Gotta say it with some bass, from the chest
Ah, that shit burns.
From the heart.
or from the heart.
That shit fucking burns, bro.
Like, yo, you gotta have heart, man, to get on that
I don't
boat.
know, like drinking like this Hennessy, anything's possible.
Anything.
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 I'll do anything for you. That Jay-Z song though. Yeah.
Is that Jay-Z?
Yeah, Jay-Z got that
really?
in one of his tracks. It's with the little Annie.
Oh,
Annie,
shit.
Annie track.
Oh, when he sampled
Yeah, when
It's
he
a Hard
sampled. Yeah.
Knock Life.
Yep.
Dude, I haven't heard that song in
It's a
forever.
hard
Holy
knock
shit.
life
You know,
for us.
what's crazy though? The acumen of Jay-Z though, and I heard this shit. I think Nipsey, you know what I mean? The late great. He was saying that he cleared that for everybody. So he didn't just, you know what I mean? Like, like you have good homies, that like hit you up like, happy birthday, how you doing? They drop in on you.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of Jay-Z's mentality. Like, yo, I'm gonna clear this for everybody who wants to use it. So when he cleared that sample, he cleared it for everybody. I mean, people can correct me if I'm wrong, but just from a music position, I thought that was dope as fuck.
For real? He actually did that?
Like he cleared it. Like, yo, when I clear it, anybody can use it. Like, what's the ticket on that, right? Probably, and he got the check. Like, yo, anybody can then go and sample
that
parts of
same
that track. You know what I mean?
For real.
And not have to pay to clear the sample.
That's some real shit.
Yeah.
Because most
And I could
motherfuckers
be
won't do
wrong,
that.
but I'm pretty confident. Like, but the reason why I bring that up is like it's in business, right? Like when you do something, sometimes you can make an impact for years to come. You know what I mean? It's not just like momentary.
Yeah. Instead of being a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, when you do something, you could do it to impact for a long time.
Yeah.
For years to come.
It's almost like being like when you show that you have integrity and that you want to take care of that industry, it's gonna come back to you full fold, and it has for Jay-Z. It's been fucking amazing, bro. But certain people got to be that way though. There's not everybody's built like that. Like not everybody's got a heart for an industry like that. The love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because he's an actual New Yorker too.
Yeah.
And those motherfuckers like they real rough. You know what I'm saying? So for Jay-Z to do that, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's one of those things like when you're like so proud of a community that you're from or you support or you're into like a hobby or whatever, it's like you want to give back to it in some type of sort way, It's like because you can all this wealth and stuff, but honestly, if you're a good person, I think nothing makes you feel better inside than giving back to something,
For sure.
And relating to like what's your motivation and stuff like that, like what's your drive, like what's your why, I want to find out what's your why.
Easy, man. I mean, just financial freedom, and that correlates over to just like not overworking, but being able to still provide and have freedom to do things I love, like travel, spend time with my family, and get everything we want, man. I mean, you know, my mom used to tell me when I was a kid, it's like, yo, sometimes you can't get that. You got to wait till I get paid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love when my kids say, yo, dad, I really want this. I can go get it for them, or my wife, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And financial freedom is just that. You know what I mean? You do whatever it is that you want to do.
You remember when you were first broke, dog? Like when you were like at the bottom broke?
Yeah.
I remember the first time I was in that position. My son had just been born. And like, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I ain't got no money for Christmas.
Yeah.
I ain't got no money for fucking food. I can't even fucking feed myself, dog. Like, dude, I mean, like, it was like welfare, Medicaid. Like, I was on that shit for a minute, bro. Like, I probably like the first 2 years of his life. And then, like, I hopped off of that bitch because I was like, fuck this. I'm never doing that.
I was too, man. I mean, we all went through that on our first kid. And me, you know, I wasn't married at that time. So I was like, yo, you can get this if it helps. You know what I mean? Because times were tough at that time. Talk back, you know, 2014 or 15, times were a little bit rough, man.
Right.
Things were really expensive. We're kind of going through shit like we're going now in 2022. Not to put date on things, but I mean, you know, we're high inflation, things are crazy, gas price, you know, it's all that type of shit. It's cyclical, right? It's a cycle. And we went through it.
But the problem was we didn't have OnlyFans then. That's a real shit. Let's be honest, bro.
Or other avenues to make money, not just OnlyFans, but anything that other people do. You know, I mean, or maybe like in my case, I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. At that time, I was just trying to figure it out.
That's true.
You know, I was selling real estate and timeshare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was doing anything to make a decent check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like just trying to figure it out. And I think, and I could have did anything. I could have been like, yo, I'm going to move weight. You know, but I was like, nah, I got a family. I don't want to be away. You know what I mean? If I get busted or a slap on the wrist.
You can't sleep at night.
Yeah, or whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, I got to try to figure it out. So we all go through those avenues and you're like, yo, you know, and then you make a living out of it and you're like, yo, I can come out of this and things feel great, but you're still scared. It's like when you live in a rough neighborhood and you still look over your back. Yeah. It's hard. Like when you go through that type of shit, like being real broke, like you're afraid to spend $1 or $1. You know, you're like, yo, I don't want to spend it because I may need it.
Bro,
you know
I remember being like, I remember having a credit card at that time.
For sure.
And it wasn't even like that high of a credit limit. And
like
I was
$500 or
something like that. No, it's probably like a rack or something. And I was like, damn, like, I'm afraid when I swipe this shit to buy this baby formula that it's gonna fucking decline. It was like one of the biggest fears that I've ever had in my life. Was the first time I ever seen a decline. I was just like, ugh. Like that shit hit me so hard, bro.
Like, ouch. Yeah,
bro. So like, I never want to be there ever again. And like, dude, I mean, there was days where I just come home and I was just burnt out because like, you know what I mean? And it's just,
you're like, yo, saying I can't do this. You know what I mean? I gotta figure it out. And sometimes you gotta sacrifice, man. Like you gotta really, you know, there was like a couple years where I didn't buy myself shit. I was just working, buying shit for my kids and everything. You know what I mean? Like that's all I was doing. I was like, I gotta make sure they're good.
Yeah.
You know,
it's it's probably the reason why, because we go back and forth about our finances a lot.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, damn, Kobe, you real fucking smart with your money.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, look, I just live frugally because I'm afraid I never want to go back to that point in my life, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and our industry's cyclical.
Yeah.
So you know a cycle can come like we're in right now, and you're like, yo, I gotta weather the storm.
Exactly, bro. So, and I think anybody who's like financially like somewhat smart will figure that out real fucking quick.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, man, like inflation comes and they're like, oh, I just want to spend more money because it's like almost like a therapy for them to go and spend money.
But you know why they do that? It's because they ain't financially sound.
Yeah.
They're watching the news and they don't even understand it. So they're like, yo, I'm just gonna go spend $1,000 at Louis Vuitton, or I'm gonna go spend hundreds of dollars going out to eat all the time. And they don't care.
Yeah, bro. I was about to go when I was in,
and then the rent goes up, and they're like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah. Taxes go up, rent go up, everything goes up.
They're like, "Oh wait a minute, oh god damn it," you know.
And that's the worst thing is like at being like a landlord when the government is now taxating like the fucking landlords for their fucking rental or you know whatever property it is.
Yeah.
And then it's like, bro, I can't bear that burden. I got fucking other bills to pay too. Like I got to put this off on my tenants. So of course, government taxes me. I'm gonna raise the rent. Like you don't blame me, bro. Like blame the government. Fuck.
No doubt. And people think like, you know, same thing. Like they want to go buy a house and they're like, oh well, my payment's $250 more a month. Well, so is your rent. Yeah. Eventually in the next renewal.
But you know what it is though? It's like a lot of people are combating this whole thing right now, where it's like, oh, it's fucking 6-7%. But it's like, bro, you're paying 100% on rent,
and it's a loss.
Yeah. Like no equity, nothing. 100% interest. Like, bro, take a 6-7% hit and you're still gonna build some equity, bro. Who cares?
And if they look at it like, okay, you would have been at a $2,300 payment 9 months ago.
Yeah.
But now you're at a $2,700 payment 9 months later.
Yeah.
Guess what your rent's probably going to be though? The same shit.
It's the
Because they know that your ass ain't going to be able to want to afford a home. Even though you could probably afford it.
Yeah.
You ain't going to do it because you're scared. You're like, yo, the market, the rates. You talk yourself out of it, and then you go and rent an apartment or a home, and you're subject to the same shit because they're like, yo, I know this person ain't going nowhere. I'm going to get everything I can out of them. The landlords are having a field day. They're like, yo, I could take everything from this motherfucker. He ain't going to buy a house. It doesn't matter.
Like, yeah, if you don't,
they think that it's not
right. Know? If you don't qualify too, that's the other problem. If you're not financially sound in that aspect, where it's like, bro, I cannot purchase a house. Well, it's like, well, motherfucker, you forced to rent now. Now you forced to stay in the 100% interest. Right?
Those people, I understand. I get it. You know, if you're forced and you're not financially in the situation to do it, then you got to figure out your why and go get financially stable to do it. And when you're financially stable, go and do it.
I mean, we all been there. You know, you and I,
100%.
we both been there. I'm pretty sure there's years where we're like, fuck, I don't think I'm going to be able to buy a crib this year. You know what I mean?
Or tell your lady or your kid, yo, we got to chill a little bit. But in a few months or in 6 months or 12 months, we're going to be back to whatever it was before, whatever you want. It's every day. Yeah. But, you know, you got to get through those. Sometimes you got to get through those cycles. It is what it is.
It is, bro.
You just got to get through it. But it's
rough.
But people, you know, in the situation where they're struggling, I mean, you got to struggle through it, and then you got to get up and get right. It goes back to what you were saying. You know, it's like getting back in the mindset, getting back to the goals, you know, getting back focused, get out of that COVID mindset, get back to really build yourself, you know, something special that you could be proud of.
You know what's crazy is I was reading this article where they said that right now is the highest employment rate. Let's do WAKU. Cheers.
Do you want more?
I'm good right now.
All right, cool.
But they were saying
I'm good.
They're saying that right now is the highest employment rate.
Yeah.
But it's like, motherfucker, you fired everybody.
For sure.
And then you rehired everybody. How the fuck is that new employment shit?
Nobody knows that though.
Fucking stupid, bro.
It's crazy.
And then, motherfucker, have you noticed that, like, most of the restaurants, like, literally neighborhood, the strip, everything in Vegas right now, it's closed early, bro. Like, it's not the same Vegas that we're used to.
We don't even have 24-hour Walmarts anymore.
That's fucking crazy.
I love the fact that we have 24-hour Walmart.
Yeah, because when you're drunk as fuck, you get to wander around.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go to Walmart, or I'm bored. Go hungry. Going to Walmart when you're drunk at like 3 o'clock in the morning is like the most funnest time because employees don't give a fuck, and you can just play with the the bouncy balls, or ride the bikes around, and everyone's just
who
like,
locked up the alcohol. What the fuck? Why would you guys do such a thing? Like, who are you talking to, man?
Give me this bottle.
What the fuck? Why'd you guys put a gate on this shit? The fuck?
You know, one thing I was actually thought about today, we're talking about the economy and everything like that. You know, like, what if shit's going so much shit that the government's adding more shit that they can fix easily just to make it harder for everyone? So when it comes to re-election year, the things that they made harder, they can just resolve real quick. Like, look, we fixed this, we fixed that. Re-elect us.
Makes sense.
You know, like shit was already going kind of bad, right? So there's like, all right, let's just play with this, make things worse, but things are gonna be in our control. So let's make things even more worse. So it makes it harder for everybody else. Everyone's struggling, and then in the final year when it's time to re-elect, everything's just fixed. Oh my God! Wow! No more inflation. No more high gas prices. Yeah. Look what we did for you. Now you should vote for us.
Well, I got a fucking theory because last night I was putting in gas. I was putting in gas for my girl's car, right? And I'm like, the fuck? Gas prices drop. And I noticed like interest rates on home loans dropped by 0.5 point.
Well, Biden passed that thing with the tax credit, you know what I mean, on gas. So he's kind of alleviating some taxes on a lot of the petro companies. So.
Right. But the problem is, this is what I'm saying. It's like, my theory is that like these motherfuckers overcharged us, overinflated it.
Right.
So like when they do cut back, it's like, oh shit, this is not as hard as it was like a couple months ago. So then like motherfuckers ain't gonna remember what it was. Like 6 months ago. So now it's like, oh, this is better than fucking $6 a gallon. Yeah. I can pay $5.50
or $4.99 or whatever.
Yeah. Because like 6 months ago it was like $4 and something cents, right? But I'd much rather take this than the fucking $6 a gallon gas. You know what I'm saying? So
and then it goes back to back in my day, I remember when I paid $3 for gas.
Yeah. And that's what I mean by when I say cycle. So people that don't know what I mean, like our economy goes through cycles. You know what I mean? And we go through that. And I think that like a lot of people don't understand, like, yo, we have cycles in our environment, and that's kind of what we got to do.
Yeah, that's true.
And we got to get through them.
You and I, we understand like hitting rock bottom, no money, having a family, and all this shit,
Yeah.
right? But like, I never experienced that because I got my mindset right to the point where I could live through COVID. Because I remember this shit happening and like I was losing money like crazy at the beginning because everybody was freaking the fuck out.
That happens.
Yeah.
Panic.
Yeah, panic. Straight up. Yeah, you're right. But then everybody was switching over to the OnlyFans platform.
Okay.
So here's my question for you. Would you ever let your wife, if you needed it, would you ever let your wife get on the OnlyFans thing?
You know, in my opinion, you know, realistically, I don't think I would. You know what I mean? I'll tell her because she didn't start out like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'd be like, that ain't you.
Right.
You got to remember who you are. You know what I mean? Like now, if I met a woman and that's what she did, and she was always about that type of shit, she's like, oh, I want all the attention. I need to do this. I need to do whatever. Then I'd probably be like, all right.
I do you, right?
But the woman that,
But you
know,
would
that is
never
my
probably
wife,
be in love with her though, on some real shit.
I mean, it probably wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because right now, currently, like as I speak, you know, I love one woman. You know, it's my wife. You know, so it's like, or whatever it may be. But I'm just saying, like, you know, however that shakes out, I think like if you, like, it's kind of like if you meet a woman and she does porn.
Yeah.
Well, then you got to respect that she's going to do whatever she needs to do in porn.
Right.
You kind of be like, yo, that's what I signed up for.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what she is. You know what I mean? That's her DNA.
Yeah.
But I might have to have that conversation with my wife. Like, is this something you really, really want to do? Because this isn't really like you.
Yeah.
So is it something that you're chasing, or is it something that is it your passion? Is it your why? You know, it goes back to that, right? Like, yo, is this your why being greater than your want? Is this
Like,
something that
can
you
I
really
be
do?
with you if you're doing these things, type of things too, right? Like,
Yeah,
it was a whole change up.
Yeah, and I don't know if that would really affect me more than the kids. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know?
That's true.
So it's like,
you're right. Because there's
I
gonna
got
be a
2
bunch
kids.
of little bullying going on in the future.
You know
They're
what I
gonna be
mean?
like, "Yo, mama got an OnlyFans."
Yeah, you know what I
Seen
mean?
her ass on OnlyFans for $5.
Shit, man, I seen a lot of that shit as a kid. You know, I saw like parents like doing certain things, and it gets on camera or photo,
Oh shit.
and then they make, you know, it becomes a laughing stock in the clique. You know, it's like, yo, here your mom was doing this last night. You know what I mean?
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? Because growing up in California, sometimes we're all segregated.
Yeah.
Then you see like they have long ass streets in California.
That's true.
So you got these moms sometimes walking out of some neighbor's house. You're like, yo, why was your mom over at? You know what I mean? What was your mom doing?
Why was your mom over at Mr. Daniel's house?
What the fuck's up with that? Yo, your mom be, you know what I mean?
Hey, I ain't get my mail today. The mailman was at your house the whole day.
Yo, people be fighting over that shit. Like, yo, what'd you say about my mom? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I guess it's like, my answer is like, yo, if you meet her like that, then you gotta accept, and you accept her like that, and you gotta accept her doing whatever she's gotta do. You know what I mean? But in my situation, it's a little different. I met her, you know, on her work grind, and she's been always one type of way.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, yo, are you sure that's you?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I get people change, but are you sure that's you?
Right.
You know what I mean? And maybe if she said that is, yo, this is me. This has always been me, and I'm sorry, but this is me. Then, you know, it might be a different conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
As it stands, I'm like, yo, I don't think that's you. It's
So
not really how you operate.
So you wouldn't be okay with it because you're not used to her being in that way. Like,
Yeah.
that's not how you met her.
Yeah, and also I think we try to build each other up in our marriage, you know what I mean? So it's like, yo, if I'm putting you into something that really isn't you, you know, and I tell her all the time, I'm like, yo, you got to do shit that's you. Don't follow trends.
Right.
Just because somebody's doing this.
That's true.
You better do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And what you see that's prosperous, you know,
Yeah,
and for you.
Don't follow the herd, right?
Yeah, you better be the wolf.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be the sheep. And I tell her that a lot. And I tell my kids that too. I'm like, yo, you better be the leader. You know, it's funny, but I try to have that same type of environment in my household. It's like, yo, you better do what you really believe in and what really is you. Don't
sure.
fake the funk and be something you ain't. You
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
So that's probably why I would say, you know, when I answer it, I'd be like, yo, I don't think that's something.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
that
not
I
for
would-
you.
Yeah, I'd be like, yo, I don't know. It ain't nothing that I know of you, and I don't really think you should be doing it because it ain't you.
So let's say you met your wife in a different. Let's say you weren't married, you didn't have no kids.
Yeah.
You just a single dude, and you was just in this relationship now, new relationship, and she's like, "Oh, babe, I want to start OnlyFans. You gonna be okay with that?"
You know, I'll be like, yo, is this something that is this some shit that you're into? You know what I mean? Is it something that you do?
She's like, "Yeah, I love showing my pussy and ass on." the
Well,
internet."
then that's what you do. And then I have a decision right at that point. It's like, yo, do I want to fuck around with this or do I not?
Right.
You give me the option to make the choice. If I'm like, yo, I want to, I want to pursue it, then it's like, yo, you're in it. You know what I mean? You committed to that.
Right.
It's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna turn around and say, yo, I don't appreciate you doing shit. Like, that's some sucker shit.
So what if the scenario changes a little bit and she decides she wants to give you a portion of the profit?
Where you start to become her manager.
Yeah. So like, yeah, she's like, you know what? I want to do this. It's something I want to do, but guess what? I'll give you 50% of the profit because you're my man.
Yeah.
Would you still let her do it?
A man or husband?
Husband. Let's go with husband.
Husband,
first. Yeah.
I would still be like, nah, I mean, it ain't you.
Yeah.
It ain't money. You know what I mean? It's more about like who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we got money. Is like,
You got a sense of pride.
even if we didn't have money, I'd be like, yo, is this something that's you? You know what I mean? Like if it's you, then do you. You know what I mean? And then I'll have to accept that. But it's like, is this really you?
Yeah.
Or are you just trying to be some?
Well,
Because the people will see through that shit too. Like you'll see the women that really like on OnlyFans, and I'm not like an OnlyFans guy. I don't have an OnlyFans account, to be clear. But I'm just saying, like the guys that
we know who they are.
And I'm lying. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I'm just saying, like realistically, I don't have none of that. But I'm just saying, I could bet the girls that are more successful, that is them.
Yeah.
Like the guys, or even the women or the dudes or the he or whatever he's and hers or whatever they say nowadays.
Right, non-binary.
Or whatever that bullshit is. Look, they know that the authentic part about it sells, and they're more successful than the person that are just posing. People are like, yo, this is something that I'm just experimenting with.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be as successful as a person like, yo, this is what the fuck I am, this is what I do.
Yeah, like 100% all in type shit.
You know what I mean? Like if people can sense that, like, yo, this person's all in, they're doing crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like they're doing whatever it is, like threesomes, or they're using fucking all types of different shit, and they're like, yo, this person's real committed. I'm gonna be a fan of,
like, this is their life and shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I think the difference is. Like, yo, that ain't you. So what are you trying to like? It ain't ever gonna be that. Right. How much are you really gonna make?
On some real shit.
Yeah.
So I want to change it up. What if it goes? The saying that everyone says is happy wife, happy life type.
WAKU.
Thing. WAKU.
Ooh. Cheers.
Happy wife, happy
life. So do you agree with those terms? Because like I see some people say it and they're almost like happy wife. Yeah. Like, they almost like it hurts them saying it. Like,
but what the fuck does that really mean, though, is what I'm trying to get to. Number one, what the fuck does that mean? Because whenever they say happy wife, happy life, it's supposed to be one of those things where you're supposed to sacrifice for the woman and live up to her like decisions. Like, that don't make sense. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, it comes down to the man running his household. You know what I mean? Like, are you running your household or not? I mean, my wife knows. She's like, yo, you know what? I can do what I want to do, and I will do what I want to do when I want to do it. But I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna run it by my husband.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It comes down to my final say of everything. As much as I love, and respect my wife, it still comes down to how I run my household.
100%.
You know what I mean? And it comes down to that. She'd be like, yo, can I do this? No. I mean,
can I have an OnlyFans?
It's like, that's not what we're doing. You know what I mean? And that's where the rubber meets the road, man. It's like, it's done, But I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's like, happy wife, happy life. Well, does your wife run everything? And then you're not even in the now of everything that's going on in your home, or you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's in your bank account.
Well, man,
you don't know what's going on in your house.
Yeah, man's supposed to maintain control, though.
You do.
You know what I mean?
In an elegant fashion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
not some abusive shit. Like, bitch, come here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like an elegant fashion. Like, yo, at the end of the day, I got to be able to know that when I say something, it does stand.
Yeah.
And that happens with being on the same page. You know what I mean? With your woman. So men that are struggling with that, it's like, maybe you got to have a conversation with your lady and be like, yo, this is what I expect. You know what I mean? And if you don't see it the same way, then we either get on the same page or we go our separate ways.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's hey, we got to be on the same page here. And that's what it comes down to, and then there's somebody else that's going to be out there that'll be on your same page. Like, my wife knows the the marathon that we're on. You know, it's like, yo, we got all these things we want to accomplish. Let's knock them down. You know what I mean? And the only way to do that is be on the same page.
Yeah.
You know,
So
we gotta be
how?
on the same
So
page.
in your relationship, do you guys have a lot of like couple goals that you guys set for each other?
For sure. We have a lot of things that we discuss. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we need to do this by this date. You know what I mean?
So what keeps it like in the motion? You know what I mean? Like when one falls short, what do you do to like get the other one going? Or
Yeah.
like if you fall short, what's she doing? You know what I'm saying?
Building each other up. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, you know where we come from. You know what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Just being like,
You better think like this.
yeah, just being like, hey, look, like, you know, our goals, you trying to be in this fucking house forever. You trying to drive the same fucking whip forever. Like
Yeah.
you know where we came from. Like, just let's get this shit.
And I laugh because like my wife has some big goals too, you know,
Yeah.
but she watches me. She's like, yo, this guy has some extreme goals.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you do.
She's like, oh, this guy has some real extreme goals, you know? So sometimes I'll lose sight and she'll be like, yo, remember what you're made out of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I remind her the same shit. Hey, remember where you come from and what you're made out of.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And where we come from, you know, we didn't have all that shit. So we got to do it.
Yeah, like it's a form
our
of
kids and for us.
appreciation.
Yeah.
Right? It's what you're saying. Appreciate, but also dream bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just thinking like that, getting everybody on the same page is key in your household.
Yeah.
If you're not on the same page, even when you're working your face off, you know, you're like, yo, my parents, I didn't even see them all the time.
Yeah.
But I bet you they took you on vacations.
Yeah.
I can almost bet.
I mean,
You guys could stop me if I'm wrong.
we
but
didn't
there
really
were
go on some shit.
there were some family vacations. I bet it.
Yeah, there
Somewhere.
were some. Yeah, you know,
And I'm not talking out of the country all the time. I'm just talking about shit.
like
you go-
Disney.
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Yeah, whatever. But it's like, because the mom and dad's talking like, yo, I'm going to bust my ass for the next 2 fucking months. And you may not fucking see me. And I may be in bed later than you are. But guess what? When I get the time, I'm going to take you guys to Disney.
100%.
Or I'm going to take you guys to fucking Florida. Or I'm going to take you guys to Jamaica. Or I'm going to take you guys to Puerto Rico. Or I'm going to take you guys to fucking Hawaii. Whatever it is. Everywhere. Because I know I've had those conversations with my lady.
Yeah.
Yo, you might not fucking see a lot of me in the next 2-3 months, but I promise I'm going to fucking take you guys somewhere great.
Oh, 100%.
Bear with me as I work my ass off and I grind. But when I get the bag, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, I'm going to make sure I do it right for you guys. And we're going to go out there. We're not going to have no budget. You know, we go out there and do whatever we want to do wherever we go, and we're going to have fun. And that's, you know, and it's going to be how do you say, like when you're off the grid? It's like, yo, it's gonna be uninterrupted. You know,
Hell
it's like,
yeah, dude.
I'm gonna be out there and I'm out there. You know?
I'm gonna drop this on you, bro.
Hold up. Hey, all my niggas be thinking we soft.
Nate, man, the great.
All right, so we just took a quick little break. We're gonna play a quick little video. We get some thoughts on this shit.
I don't think most women can actually genuinely understand how lonely the majority of men are. And you need to truly understand, if you're Joe Schmo, average in nearly every way, in Starbucks working, you ain't getting a DM ever. You girls will never be lonely. As much as you might be unhappy with the possible suitors, you can at least fuck about and flirt if you feel sad. There are men out here in the world who have genuine loneliness. And I can prove this statistically. Why do you think it's all the men killing them?
That's a tough question, man, because I think like a lot of things do correlate to the facts, right? Like there is like a lot of shit that he said is factual data. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think we kind of touched on mental health earlier, you know what I
Right.
mean? So it's kind of like you probably, it ain't just about being lonely, and it's not about just needing a woman.
Right.
It's kind of about like, again, like finding what your worth is and
Right.
what you really, you know,
On some real shit
really
though.
want in your life. I mean, it's really not that difficult. It's really why you're here and what you're here for. I don't know how to really react to that, but I know that people do suffer from that shit. It's pretty fucked up, man. It's
Bro,
tough.
there was literally an article that was just recently fucking posted here in Las Vegas. There's a fucking VR, there's a robot that will drop off some VR goggles for the terminally lonely. Here in Vegas, bro, they will deliver some shit to you so you can watch fucking porn and
whatever.
whatever
Feel like you're interacting with it.
with real people. Yeah, but it's just through the internet. It's like some metaverse shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, and I think that's driven. You know what I mean? Like that's motivated by other people that have interest in that. You know what I mean? It's like, how do we make everything more real?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So you fall in that, it might even get worse. I mean, you don't know.
It is.
I mean, you really got to just find peace in yourself. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us, like some of us were chasing a lot of shit. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden we find balance and we're like, yo, it's the happiest I've ever been. Mm-hmm. So find your fucking balance.
How does someone find that value though?
It's really in what they're interested in. You know what I mean? It depends what it could be a lot of things, you know, it could just be dressing up and fucking looking at yourself in the mirror, man. I don't know. I mean, it could be something like that where you're just simple, you know, simple. It's like, yo, I got to dress up and go out today.
Take a fucking shower, because like when you depress, motherfuckers don't take showers.
You see, like shit like that, you know, take a fucking shower. Take a fucking shower and go get dressed in the mirror and look at yourself and be like, yo, I am that motherfucker. I am positive. I am
doing those affirmations and shit. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tell yourself, man, that you are that guy. And even if you get rejection and people are like, yo, you're crazy, bro. Like, I don't even know what you're doing out here. It's like, I don't care what the fuck you say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I know why I came out tonight. I came out to have a good time. So whatever it is, you know, it's going to be. And that's really what it comes down to. It's like, yo, are you happy with you? Find some happiness in yourself, man. I mean, that's some real, you know, that's as real as it gets. Find some happiness in yourself and find some peace in that.
You know what's funny when you mentioned that? When I was going through my depression phase and all that stuff, like I don't know where I heard it from or if I came up with it, I can't recollect it, but it was like, look good, feel good, you know? And so like when I was like in my happiest or most positive moment, what I would try to focus on was in the morning before I get my day started, whatever, I would just try to make myself feel and look as good as possible, you know, to myself, you know, like, so I'll fix up my hair. I'll make sure I'm nice, clean shaved. I'm wearing nice, some clothes. And then it almost helps you start the day off better. You know, and even like nowadays, I know as I do it too, like I have my, you know, we all have our up and down days, but there's some days where I'm just down. Yeah. And, you know, I'm like, all right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go dress up nice, you know, fix my hair, clean up, smell good, shave, you know, clean, you know, shave everything, you know, so I just feel nice and clean and good about myself, you know. And it's true. It's like, you know, going back to what we were saying earlier, it's how you know, self-affirmation, stuff like that. And it's not just words. It could be how you look too.
Find what makes you happy, you know what I mean? Or what makes you feel better, you know? So, and some people can find that in many things, you know. I'm not saying go out and do a bunch of drugs and make yourself feel better, but, you know, and I know, you know, people are suffering from that shit. I get it. You know, we've all went through those realms and we've all been through that, or a lot of us have, you know, but find things that make you feel good and then go out and feel like you're that guy. You know, go out and feel like, yo, I'm really good at what I do. I'm really good tonight. And sometimes just finding peace, you know, I really find sometimes when I'm uneasy, sometimes I have to look at everything that I have and be like, yo, man, I really got a lot more than others. And even if that ain't a whole lot, but it's like, yo, I really got a whole lot more than other people. And I should be grateful. Every day I should wake up and be like, thank you for everything that I got. Yep. Some people may not have that shit. You know what I mean? And then some people that don't even have that shit to say, hey, thank you. I woke up today, but I fucking woke up. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, I fucking woke up. So I got another day to go at it. And sometimes you just got to look at that, just the very minimum. Hey, I fucking woke up today, so I got a shot, you know, and be happy with that. Don't pay attention to too much of what's going on around you. Sometimes you just got to focus on, you know, directly on what you got. You know, and where you're at currently, and just be happy you woke up. Because you can see people that are all doped out on the street, but they might be the happiest motherfuckers you ever meet. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're like, yo, you're way more happier than I am. And I got everything. I go home to a nice house, nice bed that's made.
That's true.
I go home to my kids and everything, but I still argue. You know what I mean? I still got shit going on. I got stress going on with, you know, making sure that I maintain my lifestyle. And people wake up every day and they're like, yo, I'm just fucking happy I woke up today, and I'm gonna be laughing down the street and be happy.
That's because they got like a simple ass life, bro. You know what I mean? Like the more money you have, the more problems, right?
Yep.
I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one, cuz.
Or 99 problems, but a bill ain't one.
Yeah, you know exactly. I mean?
It does say in the Bible, you know, not to owe anybody. So it's, you know, and then we go and we take all these finances charges on, you know what I mean? It creates extra added stress. I mean, you know, in our city that we live in, a lot of people's suicide rates high, man. They don't even talk about it. Yeah. People hang themselves in their house. They jump out of buildings, they jump off of freeways. You know what I mean? They don't even talk about it. People lose everything here.
Dude,
you know
Mike, yeah, I mean, especially in Vegas, yeah, gambling city and shit, drugs, alcohol, a lot of prostitution.
WAKU.
All right.
Yeah, gambling city, you were saying?
Yeah. But no, what I was saying, because like I feel like you've been through a lot of shit in your life, and because you put a whole 2 albums together so far and so many other countless songs, how do you find the motivation? Like, because a lot of it is mindset about, you know, financial freedom, and it seems like you're projecting into the future, which is nice because you're a visionary, right?
Right.
So when it comes to like other songs that you write or ghost write, I'm sure you write some emotional shit, right? So how do you find the motivation or the, you know, because a lot of artists they need to feel hurt. Like Juice WRLD, he's one of my favorite artists.
Dope.
But
rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. But you know, all of his fucking pain and shit was done through his, you know, his life, because he was on drugs and he had a fucked up life and all this shit. Right. So how do you find your motivation for your music?
I mean, just tap into that fucking, you know, tap into that aura that you had at that time. And for us that really do go through it, I mean, we tap into it. It's almost, you almost tap into it automatically. Like when you hear a certain key or you hear a certain melody or something, you know what I mean? It just brings you right to it. And that's the power and beauty of music. Because even on my darkest times, or when times where I feel like things are grim or things are, you know, may not have a perfect ending, I find beauty in sounds and music. And that's probably why I always feel like I'm creative in business, because I find elements in music that make me feel inspired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I kind of correlate that into business. You know what I mean? So I find beauty in certain things, and you never know what other people may be going through, and you might think that you're the only person going through it, but when you speak it through paper, or you just speak it through the mic, they might react and be like, yo, I'm going through the same shit.
Yeah.
I went through that, man. I was in the same situation. You're like, oh, really? Well, I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
And they really ain't.
My whole thing is because I'm a huge fan of your music, bro. Like, as a friend, and like I really just love that shit in general. Yeah. It's got sick beats.
Appreciate that, by the way.
You're a sick ass lyricist, bro. And I'm just like, how the fuck are you throwing this shit together? Because I know Seabass says the same shit. He's like, bro, that shit is just so smooth, bro.
Yeah.
And we just surprised, bro. We don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like with the hip hop nowadays that's going on, like like modern whatever is going on, I personally cannot vibe with it very well. I don't know why. You know, some beats, some lyrics I hit, but majority of the hip hop now I just cannot relate. The hip hop back then, you know, from like the b-boying days, like from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, I can relate to so much better.
I know you guys used to do that shit, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So those type of things, like I can vibe with, like, I don't know, something about like their lyrics, their beats. It's just, it just hits me in a certain way. But the songs I hear now is like, I hear it once, cool. Twice, cool. I'm over it. Back then, I hear a playlist comes up again. I'll be rocking that shit while I'm driving. You know, like, yo, this shit's sick. You know, Tribe Called Quest, all that stuff. You know,
I love that. Fuck with that.
But yeah, how do you feel about the music nowadays, bro? Like trap music and like this mumble rap shit. Because I mean, your shit is not that. It's not that.
I mean, I do love that shit. You know, because it has a time and place.
Right.
You know, it's like when I'm maybe in a position where I don't really want to listen to just lyrics, but I want to listen to the beat hit a certain way.
Yeah.
And I want to listen to the cadence a certain way, or the way they approach it, and the way that they hit the key, you know, in their vocal, and it's like, yo, they hit right, and it just feels good. A lot of times I feel like I like it, but for a time and a place. But when I listen to like real music when I'm driving by myself or when I'm by myself, you know, I love shit that hits home for me.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm by myself, like, I'm like, yo, I fuck with that. Yo, that was crazy. But what he said right now was just insane. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I really fuck with that because on the strength, it's relatable. You know what I mean? And sometimes I might be speaking a lot of positivity or shit that people don't want to celebrate to. And that's cool. because it may not just be for that listener, you know, but it may be for the entrepreneur or the person that's living a really great life or somebody that's in a good position that doesn't want to talk about negativity.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just want to just listen to good shit and have a good vibe. And then you can speak some real shit over some dope beats and people are like, yo, I really fuck with that because that gave me a good feeling. And you were actually saying some shit. It wasn't just melody, because the melody does have a time and a place. Like, you know, when shit's playing in the club, they ain't gonna play all of my songs. They might play a couple, you know, like Party, or they may play like the Nobu freestyle or something where it's like, yo, that's just dope. You know, people could shake their ass to that, you know, women could really dance to that, or, you know, people could really groove to that. But, you know, on the contrary, a lot of my shit when you're just sitting by yourself on the solo and you're like, yo, that shit really motivated me to make bump. Yeah, it bumped and it made me want to go to work. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to go hustle. I want to go have some shit. And I think a lot of the greats have that too. I was listening to an M album today just because I'm like, yo, let me go listen to my old shit. You know what I mean? Right. I was listening to the Refill or the Relapse or whatever it was. And I was like, yo, this motherfucker's an artist. It's just like reading a book. Yeah. It's like if you listen to the whole album, you're like, yo, this motherfucker painted a whole horror story or whatever it was. I'm like, that's dope. Because I was in a horror story mode today. You know what I mean? Or the other day, I was watching Stranger Things or whatever. I'm like, yo, I'm in that whole horror story shit. You know what I mean? And it gets great over time. Well, I hope my shit does the same thing, you know? It does, man. Your shit really does bump. It's a motivator for sure. Yeah. Especially with this second album with the Spanish tracks and Dash's Clay on it, bro. Yeah, D Clay, man, that's my dog. You know what I mean? Like, that's my boy right there. And I have a lot of faith in him delivering. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we had this idea. And the thing about Dash that people don't know, and I want to say this, is homeboy's got an ear. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's got ear for beats and he's got ear for sounds. And that sometimes brings the best out of me. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's naturally talented too, in that form. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a really good ear, and then he'll come deliver a verse. You're like, oh, okay, all right, I gotta bring my shit. Yeah. And that's why I was like, yo, I'm gonna do a whole album with you. You know, we're gonna call that TNT, which is tattoos and tuxedos. Damn. Wait, you tatted, dog? Nope. I'm the tuxedo, dog. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, he's tatted. Yeah, he's tatted. You know what I mean? Like, where's his tattoos at? Where are you hiding them? Nah, it's on his butt cheeks, bro. Hey, did I ever tell you guys that one shit when I had a client? He was like, yo, I tatted. He was I shouldn't say all this shit, but he was a pilot. He was like, yo, I'm gonna tap my nuts in Louis Vuitton. Oh shit! Did I ever tell you that shit? No, you never told me that. This shit was crazy. I was doing this more. He's like, yo, I'm gonna tap my nuts in Louis Vuitton luggage. You know, I was like, why would you do that? He was like, so when a bitch asks me for a Louis Vuitton bag, I'm gonna give her the tea bag. And I was like, yo, you want an LV bag? I'm gonna give you this tea bag. And I was like, yo, you're fucking crazy, yo, that's bro. Fucking genius. So it was dope, bro. Like, I was like, yo, you're a fucking legend, man. And he did it. And you know what? He did have to go see a doctor because, you know, he was like, yo, what the fuck's going on with my nuts? Oh, shit. Nuts got swollen and shit. No, for real? For real, bro. He was like, yo, my nuts. You know, my nuts, something's wrong with my nuts. And they're like, nah, it's natural, bro. You got ink. You got a needle to the nuts, bro. Like, what do you say? Yo, but when you told me that story, I was like, yo, bro, you're a fucking goat, bro. Like, for real. Like, that shit was... We had that long conversation like, yo, how did you think of that? He was like, yo, bitches kept asking me for, you know, for expensive shit. And he was like, yo, I'm going to give him the Louis Vuitton bag. But for real, I'm going to give him the nut. I'm going to give him the tea bag. Yo, that's just hilarious. I really picture it. The girl's like, can I get a Louis bag? I got you. Just close your eyes real quick. Put out your hands. Just zip. Yo, open them. Put his balls right on their fucking shit. And she's just holding his nuts like that. Yo, you know what was funny about that though is that the tattoo artist that did it, yo, he hit me up. She's like, yo, your boy told me the whole story of what I did for him. You know, I did the Louis Vuitton nut art nut sack. Yeah, he's like, yo, he told me you're the guy. You know, I was like, yeah, I am that guy. I got you, bro. I was like, you're the mastermind behind that. He's like, yes. I was like, all right, got you.
That's crazy.
That's what's hilarious.
Yeah.
Brother. I was like, yo, I'll help you out too. So I helped him close his mortgage.
Oh my.
Yo, get this to a 200,000 views, and I'll tattoo my nuts Louis Vuitton.
No shit. You
Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it.
2,000?
Yeah, 2,000. No, 200,000. Sorry, 200,000. 200,000.
200,000.
200,000. I want 5 zeros. All right. You get that?
WAKU.
You get that? Dude, that
WAKU.
I will tattoo my nuts Louis Vuitton. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying that. Fuck that.
WAKU, bro.
WAKU.
All right. 200K fucking likes, and you'll tattoo your balls
Yeah.
and an
Louis
LV.
Vuitton.
Yo, that's a big commitment right there.
Yeah.
I think you can get
For this video.
For this video.
For this video. So you guys.
250 and they'll fucking record it live.
Yeah. Fuck it. OnlyFans.
No shit. Let's do it. I'm fucking with it, bro.
Dude, I'm gonna cry.
Not just OnlyFans, it's Patreon too,
Yeah,
right?
Patreon.
This is gonna happen. You know.
Patreon of him getting his nuts tatted
It's just
and Louis Vuitton so the bitches can get the Louis bag.
Just so we're clear, this just happening. You're like, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna be fucking regretting the decision when it happens, but I'm gonna go through with it because I'm
Oh
gonna fucking
my
walk it.
god! Could you
Yo.
imagine pulling your fucking dick out and your balls come out as just fucking LV all over your?
Yo, I was told that they had to put the ointment on his balls immediately, like for a long period of time. He was telling me.
Yeah,
He was like,
right.
yo, dude, I couldn't sit. I couldn't do anything. It was really uncomfortable. But how he told me how it was like, yo, it's fucking dope because I do be tricking bitches and they're like, yo, you want a Louis bag? Which was dope. I was like, yo, you're a fucking MVP. You're a GOAT, dude. And, you know, I'm like, yo, whatever you need, I got you just because your connection with me is just amazing, bro. Like, your
That's
whole story is
crazy.
just dope. But shout outs to that guy, man. He's a fucking GOAT, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
that's crazy.
We're gonna go straight into this video real quick.
I don't have female friends. I don't. I'm incapable of that.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, because come on.
Because you have a wife.
Well, I have a wife, and I don't really have female friends because look, let's get rid of this. I'm gonna tell you this. Let's get rid of this right here. You're an attractive woman. There's some guy somewhere saying, "Yeah, we're friends." No, that's not true. He's your friend only because you have made it absolutely clear that nothing else is happening except this friendship we have. We remain your friends in hopes that one day there'll be a crack in the door, a chink in the armor. And trust and believe that guy that you think is just your buddy, he will slide in that crack the moment he gets the opportunity.
And you
Because
think
we're
most men
guys.
think this way?
99.9% of us think that way. All of my friends are men.
So the question behind this video is, can ladies have a legit, as a female, male best friend?
Because we know men.
Straight male best friend on top of
WAKU.
that. WAKU?
WAKU.
You know, I had to take a drink to that one because it's, I think it's a fine line. I mean, you know, my lady, she doesn't really have a lot of male best friends unless they're
Gay.
you know, gay. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the reason behind that is, you know, it really depends. Like, it could go either way, you know. I mean, like that single dude could have an intention, like, yo, this girl's got everything. I want to go ahead and find my way a part of that. I mean, we can't really ponder on that and spend a lot of time thinking on it, you know what I mean? Because we gotta always think ourselves as alpha, right? You know, it's like, yo, we're alpha male, we're the confident dude, you know, we're the person that they go to sleep with that night,
Yeah.
or whatever it may be. But still, I mean, if your girl has a lot of male friends, I mean, you might want to find out, you know, what's the deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, is this something that you always done? Or is this something that's new to you? Because if it's new to them, I mean, that could raise some eyebrows. You know,
Oh,
like,
fuck yeah.
Like, wait a minute, you know, where are you getting all these new male friends?
Yeah.
You know?
Who's his new friend?
Yeah, I mean, why are you so close to them? You know what I mean? What are they doing for you, or what's the deal? Because a lot of males, you know, as you know, they might have intentions, you know, that are not good. So it's like, yo, I want to take, you know what I mean? I want to get that, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of manage that. You know, you're like, yo, what's the deal with that? And in my household, and I can speak for my household only, that ain't the case. You know what I mean? My woman don't have a whole lot of male friends, and vice versa. You know, I don't have a lot of female friends. You know, I'm like, hey, it's my female friend.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, your wife is your best friend,
Yeah.
right?
But in respect to, like, hey, we all have a past. She kind of got to respect that. She's like, yo, this person that, you know, was a friend to me. You know, you kind of be like, back in 2006, you know, you're like, okay, all right, I can't really say anything because we all got a pass. But when we were together in 2012, you know, that's a whole different story. So you can't really, you know what I mean? You got to kind of have a fine line between like, yo, I understand we all got a pass and people are your friends, but, you know, any new friends, you know, you kind of question, you're like, yo, who's this person? I don't know who this person is.
Right.
You know what I mean, I don't know if I want them around my wife, my kids, you know what I mean? You got to kind of identify that. And I think it's vice versa too. Like you bring a new girl around you're a woman, she'll be like, who the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck you bringing around me? You know?
Yeah.
So who's that person? You have sexual relations with them, you know, you fucking them, whatever it is. Like,
yeah, you're gonna have a lot of like
questions.
Right. What you doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that varies like between like boyfriend, girlfriend, and wife. You know what I mean? Like I think like sometimes your wife may press you harder and you gotta actually act right, you know what I mean, when you marry versus when you're single, you know what I mean? If you don't really want anything serious and you're just like, yo, I'm just enjoying my life, I'm gonna do what I do. If that's been the expectation, then there really ain't no question.
Well, that what the fuck?
Siri's listening to our conversation. Bitch, this ain't about you.
Yo, she hacking me.
Yo.
That was me, dog.
Damn, your wife is listening, cuz.
She's like, send me everything that David says.
She said, you don't believe in happy wife, happy life? What?
Nah, she knows I believe in that, but also she knows that I believe in, you know, I got to run my household. You know? She knows I was like, hey, you know, David provides. He makes sure that we have everything we need. You know what I mean? So she got to respect that.
100%, dude.
But I don't always want to disrespect her. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, I got to operate, you know.
Yeah, you got to make her happy. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
But it's like conditional though. Have you ever been in a fucking household that's only ran by women? It's fucking chaotic, bro.
Being raised by only a mom without my dad, I can say yes.
It's fucking chaotic. Everything is emotional based.
Yeah.
There's no logic.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I get that. 100%. And I'm like, sometimes you miss the picture, you know? Yeah. My job is to build the relationship so I can continue to get business.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's not always about like, hey, I want to fuck her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm not trying to hit it all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just trying to build a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like I've hit times with my wife where I was like, why the fuck did you do that? And I'm like, why the fuck you going through my phone?
Yeah.
You know,
damn.
I mean? Why the fuck would you do that? Do I go through your shit? She's like, nah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, why the fuck you go through my shit? The fuck's up with that? You know what I mean? And she's like, well, I'm sorry, but you know, or I had to because I felt whatever it is.
Nah.
Dig? So the same thing is like, the fuck? You know what I mean? You gotta have the impression that I operate in your best interest too. Otherwise, you're not fully in love with me. Because if you don't trust me, then you're never gonna really be fully in love. You gotta trust me. If you say, oh man, I'm so in love with you, I love you. How is that when you really question everything I do?
Yeah, you can't trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So without trust, there's no love. So what the fuck? So are you lying to me? Because I can hear all day that you love me, but do you really love me?
Yeah.
You know, because then if you love me, then you understand that no matter what I do, I'm operating in our best interest.
True.
And that's real love.
Oh, that's some real shit. That's some real shit because there's a time and a place for fucking talking. And if you keep saying, like every time you get off the phone with me, you just say, I love you, whatever.
Tell me. I
just be like, dude, like, I don't care. Like, I don't need to hear that shit. Just show me.
Right.
Like, I don't need to hear you saying, oh, I love you. And then when I see you, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are we fighting? Why are we doing this shit? Like, it don't make sense, right?
Yeah,
it just don't. So, like, just prove it to me. Because I'm more of like, if you're going to fucking talk it, at least, you know, you better back it up with walking that bitch.
That's alpha A personality.
On some real shit, bro. Like, I'm just being honest. Like my word is, like, your word and my word is bond, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you say, like, something, I expect you to do that.
Right.
Like, that's some real shit.
Right.
So I don't need to hear, oh, I love you, babe. Like, do you really though? Like, come on, just fucking show me.
Show me. Yeah.
So
and I think all of us men have that same conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it ain't, sometimes why it's like, you know, you could be, you be going in on them.
Yeah.
You know, digging them down, whatever it is. Like, yo, I love you. You know, but do you show me?
Yeah.
Because anybody can say anything. I could play the game and be like, yo, I love you.
Yeah.
I love you for real, for real.
Yeah.
Or I go do other shit behind your back. It's like, yo, I don't even really care about I don't even think about you. I haven't even texted you in like 2 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like
spending money on other girls.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yo, I'm going to take you out to go shopping or I'm going to take you out to go to dinner.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, fuck, I ain't going to spend my money on you. Like, you really think I'm stupid? If I didn't love you, I wouldn't spend a dime on you.
Yeah.
Like, come on, let's be real. Like, I work hard for my money. I put a lot of time in.
That's true.
You know, to make $1. You know what I mean? So if I make X amount of dollars, you know, you think I'm gonna spend a little bit on you if I didn't really care about you?
Yeah,
Come on.
that's true.
She shouldn't even have to ask me. But women do need to be reminded of when, you know, it's like, hey, do you love me? Yeah, you know what I mean? When it's your wife or whatever it is.
Right.
But I do trip out on sometimes. It's like, yo, you know, if you go down that path sometimes, it's like, yo, does my man really love me? You got to understand that just like you as a woman, I got a lot of options too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still choose you.
Yeah.
Because I chose you and that's the route that I go. I'm a real motherfucker. I'm going to stand by my shit. My decision is what it is. If I made a decision, I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to stay with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If not, then I'm going to tell you straight up, hey, look, this ain't really what it is. You know what I mean? It's just temporary or whatever it is. And I'm going to still do my own thing. You know what I mean? If you don't like that, then go your own way.
Mm-hmm. What do you
That's
think?
some real shit, right, Seabass?
Man, there
When
is
you tell women
so much
I'm
I want to
sure.
throw in right now. So I'm just going to throw
I was
it in.
waiting
all right?
on you, dog.
All right. So, first of all, as a man, cheating for us is different than cheating for women. And the reason I say that is because when a woman cheats, it's usually premeditated. It's just her sleeping with someone else, right? And I just want your opinion on this. As a man cheats,
Premeditated, though. That's like
premeditated because it's not
premeditated is heavy, bro.
Oh, it is premeditated because it never happens right away, but it's like almost like they build up all the negativity and then they're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna fuck this dude. I don't give a fuck. And it needs that one breaking point, right? But for us guys, when we cheat, it's when we start spending and putting value into another woman. Because as a guy, and I just want your opinion, this is how I view it. As a guy, I can go fuck this chick and it literally means nothing to me.
Nothing.
We bust a nut, you bust a nut, we fist pound, peace out.
That's it.
Deuces, we go our separate ways.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I have no physical attachment towards you or anything like that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I might not even remember your name.
Probably.
Probably never got your name.
Exactly. And if I did, I forgot it in the next 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I get it.
If I'm with someone and I do that and I start putting more value into another woman.
Yeah.
So instead of like, I say for example, I have a girlfriend, right? And you know, we go on trips, I buy her gifts,
right,
whatever.
Wow. Yeah.
But I sleep with this other girl, and I don't do anything with her. But there's this one girl that comes along, and I start buying her gifts, start taking her on trips.
Yep.
Now that's, in my opinion, when a man cheats.
Yep.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, you know, all women have the standard that if you sleep with another woman, you fucking disobeyed her trust. Let's start there. You know, it's like as soon as you fuck another woman and you're married to her. Now, if you're boyfriend and girlfriend and you let her know, hey, sometimes occasionally I hook up with different chicks. I mean, my mom always told me, like, as long as you play the game right and you're honest, then you're not doing anything wrong. But if you tell a woman that, hey, I love you and I want to be with you for long term, you know what I mean? Then you better act occasionally. You know what I mean? But on the contrary, if you're like, yo, I'm sorry, but I fucked, you know, some bitches on the side, you kind of have to have some explanation on pars. Like, yo, hey, you know, I'm with, you know, so-and-so and I'm with so-and-so. And she has to be okay with that. If she's not okay with that, you better figure out, yo, do I want to stay with the chick and break her heart? Or do I not? And sometimes in that occasion, it's like, yo, if you're honest with her and she's okay with it, then it's fine. But if she's not, and you really appreciate that woman in your life, then you better figure out what you want to do. You know, it's like, hey, do I want to stay with this woman or not? Do I want to have something serious with this woman or not? And that's what it comes down to, I think.
So,
you know?
So what you're trying to say is basically, as long as you have this open communication with your
Right.
your significant other, right?
Yeah.
Then it's okay.
Yeah.
Because she understands the point that you have your needs. You gotta do whatever, you gotta bust a nut, whatever. But as long as she's the main priority and you let her know that up front, then it's cool. But if you do it behind her back, then you're technically ruining.
Right. Or if you do it behind her back and she ain't cool with it, then you're really disrespecting her.
Yeah.
But she's like, yo, if you do it behind my back, but if you just told me, I'd been all right with it. Then you also you kind of look like a sucker. Yeah. And it's like, yo, I kind of just told her that's what I want to do. You know, it's like, yo, if I was just man enough to just tell her, yo, I want to fuck this chick and that chick, and she would have been okay with it, then I could have did it. But if she wasn't cool with it and you're like, yo, I want to fuck that chick, and she's like, you ain't doing that. As soon as you do that, I ain't cool with it. And she was like, all right, I ain't going to do it then. And that means you love her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You appreciate her for what she is. She's your wife. She's the mother of your kids. She's whatever she is to you, whatever standard that she is, whatever rank. But if you're honest and you're just fucked up and you're like, yo, I don't care what you say, but I am some way. I'm sorry, I can't settle down. And you tell her up front and she still fucks with you.
That's on her.
That's on her.
Yeah. That's on her, bro. Like,
that's on her. But if you're honest, you ain't wrong, bro.
Yeah.
As a man, you ain't wrong.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, I did my due diligence.
Yeah.
I covered all bases. I told her this is how I am. I'm fucked up. And I can't, you know what I mean? I can't just settle down with you. I need 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? It's how you start it. You know what I mean? But if you're honest, it's funny because men think, oh, yo, I can spit games. I can tell you, yo, you're the only one I want. But if you're honest, you're like, yo, I'm fucked up. If you don't get with me, I'm sorry. And I understand. I need 2, 3 bitches. You know what I mean? And they'll respect you so much more. You know what I mean? They'll be like, yo, at least the motherfucker was honest, yo. And I still fucked him because I liked him.
All right.
You know what I mean? If you're honest, and I think one time, you know, I remember real vividly, my mom was telling me, yo, if you're ever honest with women, they'll respect you.
100%.
If you lie to women and you do something else, they're going to think that you're a fucking fuckboy, and they're going to think that you ain't about shit and you're not about nothing. And I was like listening to her at like 8 years old. I was like, yeah, mom, I understand that. I understood nothing.
You're like, that's what I remember when I was 8 years old. God,
I was like, yo,
what are you saying, mom? Yeah.
Yo, I was like, yo, that doesn't make sense at all. But, you know, when I remember, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, I was like, yo, I just got to be honest. This is what it is. This is what I think. This is what I want.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yo, they still want to bang you. All right, cool.
Right.
You know, I'm going to hit it and that's it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you move forward with that. And then same thing with my wife. You know, when I married Leslie, I was like, yo, I don't want anything serious. You know what I mean? I just want this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it becomes really something social and really something cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, I could build something with this person. And you're like, all right, cool. I could work something out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I could do something.
Yeah.
And she's still listening to me.
Every time you said my wife, motherfucker,
Like,
hello.
he put wife in the hashtag. You know what I mean? Yo, it's crazy though, because like, yo, as soon as I went in and laid that shit, I was like, yo, this is what I want. This is what I think. This is what I want to do.
Right.
She was like, yo, I fit all these categories. You know what I mean? This is what I want. You fit all these categories.
Right.
Are you going to be real? Yes. All right, cool. All right, well, then we can make something work.
All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button, the bell notification, and stay tuned for part 2 and our next interview. WAKU!
You gotta take the long road. Lose it all.